Hey guys, it's Shay. Welcome back to my channel. So, we are going super hard for the nurse gang this month and the beginning of May because I've had a lot of you guys reach out to me and say that you've been missing the nursing videos. Especially with, I've gotten a lot of questions from my nursing students specifically on how they can prepare for upcoming graduation, upcoming NCLEX, things like that. Oh, I forgot to turn my notifications off. But anywho, if you guys are interested, we're going to go hard this month. I'm going to be kind of running you guys through my journey in nursing school towards this time of the year, along with just some tips and tricks. I'm definitely going to be doing a video on NCLEX coming up soon. But today, I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys about what should I be doing right now. So today's date is April 15th. And I know a lot of you guys are getting ready, like I said, to graduate next month. So what should you be doing? Should you be interviewing? Should you be studying? This will kind of like guide you guys because I was in the same situation. And I feel like everything I kind of did just made everything fall into place the correct way. So if you guys are interested, stay tuned. We're going to jump right into it. Okay guys, so as you know, I got my iPad ready and I kind of sat down with one of my friends that's getting ready to finish nursing school, and I tried to kind of communicate with her between sitting down and doing FaceTime on what are like 5 top questions, like what does she really need guidance with right now. And I used those questions from her plus things I was kind of going through during April of the year I graduated. And that's how I kind of put everything together. So, the first thing she put down is how do I juggle everything with my final exams. And that's what I wanted to point out to you guys the most. So, the things you're really going to be thinking about at this moment in April preparing for graduation is, should I be interviewing? How do I prepare for the NCLEX? Should I be studying for the NCLEX? What am I wearing to graduation? I still have the final exam to take. So that's your top priority. I always tell people prioritize by timeline. So what is coming up next, go in chronological order. Your NCLEX is not going to be at least until June, July. We're going to worry about that, and I'll tell you guys about that later in the video. Graduation is next month. Worry about that when you get done what you're currently doing. Your final exam is coming up. Honestly, that should be your top priority. You as a nursing student know how to multitask. You wouldn't have made it this far in nursing school without it. But make sure you're not getting too caught up where you forget what counts the most. So if you have a final exam coming up, I always tell people during this time of the month, I was kind of trying to make sure I'm just studying for the final exam, especially if you're somebody who is on the borderline, which I know most of you guys probably would not be, because if you were on the borderline, everything else is far from your mind. NCLEX is far from your mind, graduation is far from your mind. But regardless, this tip is for you too. Focus on that final exam. So take your time to study. Most of the time, the final exam during nursing school should be cumulative, I believe, but I do know when I was in school I did have a couple extra topics thrown on there that sometimes the teacher's like, oh shoot, did they go over this at any point in time during their nursing school career? So they'll just throw it on an exam to make sure you take a look at it. But a lot of times whoever your like professor is, especially for that last class, which for me it was Adult 3 nursing, they will try to make sure they're preparing you with anything that they think is going to be on the NCLEX as well. So your test should already be NCLEX style, but if you have a good professor, that's kind of in the back of their mind too, like what questions could I jump on this exam that will really prepare them. So make sure you study for your final exam. Don't worry about anything else until you pass that final exam and take it. That is your priority in April. Once you take your exam and pass it, or even while you're trying to study, start trying to plan out what you want to do for May. So whenever your graduation date is, go ahead and kind of get things together for that. I know where you can pull on family. If you have family or friends that are helpful, use them. Examples, who I need to invite for graduation. Mom, Dad, can you help me with that? What I need to wear friends, where y'all ordering y'all stuff from? Send me links, send me coupon codes, things like that, so I don't have to spend so much of my study time doing things like that. And another thing I also tell people is make sure you plan a good vacation, or a good, even if you don't have money for vacation, a good week where you're just relaxing. You just completed a final exam. You just went through all this, like, you know, prepping to walk places and do this and do that for graduation. Make sure after graduation you take a week for you. I know when I was in nursing school, the week after I graduated, most of you guys know my family is from Alabama, so literally the day after my graduation, the next morning we flew out there for a week and spent some time with family, and that was great, and that was a good trip. And that really kind of took everything off of my mind. And then the following week when I came back, I even just took a week to just settle in. No books. I don't want to hear nothing about NCLEX. I don't want to hear nothing about graduating. I just want to take this week to do what I need for me. I think I went and got a massage. I went and got my nails done. Just self-care. You guys know I'm heavy on self-care. So take a week. I know some of you guys who are overachievers. If you're a nursing student, you're an overachiever. You're like, I ain't got time to be doing that. No. That is very pivotal in preparing you for the next step. Take your self-care time. Period, point blank. And make sure May is a good month. You graduate the first week, take your vacation the second and third week. That end week after Memorial Day is when you can go back into mode to study. So the next thing I also hear from people in April is, should I be interviewing now? Should I be applying now? Find out from the institution where you are most interested in. A lot of places, they keep saying won't take an application without a license number from your state. That is not necessarily true for all institutions. So whatever you're interested in, make sure you do your research. Like I said before, focus on your final exam. But if you can get maybe at least one interview in, that would be great. And if you can't do that, try to go to a mock interview. I remember when I was in school, I went to our career fair and I did a mock interview with someone from the career center. And it went great, and they definitely kind of prepared me, and they took a look at my resume and everything like that for what I would be getting ready to do. I don't think I did my first interview for jobs until I believe it was either the week before graduation or the week after graduation. So I didn't really schedule any for May, but I did do a lot of prepping. I did make sure my resume was clean. I did go ahead and apply for what I was interested in, and I did attend any like new grad nurse sessions in April. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Like I said, the top priority is chronological order, so make sure you pass your exam. But if you can get any interview in, at least one, go ahead and do it. If not, at least apply for one job. If you can visit the career center, you know, try to get all that stuff situated. Next thing somebody said is, should I be applying for my nursing license? So for most of you guys, you know I live in the state of New Jersey. We did apply for our license in April, contingent on the fact that we pass our NCLEX, of course. So you can go ahead, especially if you have a little extra cash in your pocket, go ahead and apply for that license. Also, another good time to do it is also graduation, because you know graduation season, you get your money, and that money will fly out your pocket in no time. So if you get a little extra money during graduation season, take that, you know, $100, $200 in the card and go ahead and apply on the Consumer Affairs website for your state. I think ours was New Jersey Consumer Affairs. I believe our fee was either $150 or $250. Don't quote me. If I can go back on and do all the research, I will put the price down here just for you guys that are in New Jersey, so you know. But I think the fee can vary depending on state. So it's not a priority this time in April to go ahead and do it, but if you're able to and you got a little cash on the side, go ahead and apply, because it'll save you some time down the road. As far as your authorization to test number, that comes with completion of your program. So really, even if you go ahead and apply, that is not going to go through until the day you graduate. So I think for me, I did also do that the last week in April. I just went ahead and I went on the Pearson website and I filled out all my information and I went ahead and paid the fee. so they knew that I was someone that was preparing to take the NCLEX in the next couple months. But then, like I told you guys, that's not going to go out until the day you graduate. So don't be alarmed if you don't have the money. Put that on the priority list for May. Just focus on your final exam. I know I keep saying that, but I think that's very important because some people will get so caught up in graduation season that they sit down, they take their final exam, and they almost don't pass because they're so caught up in everything else that's going on. So that's another thing. If you want to go ahead and get it done, do it after your final exam. If you got a little extra money in your pocket, you can do that, but once again, focus on that timeline. How should I be studying for the NCLEX? Girl, do not be studying. I mean, don't get me wrong. Your whole nursing career, like I told people, should be prepped for the NCLEX. So there's no sitting down and trying to study for it in April. In April, I know when I was in nursing school, we did do a virtual test with the ATI program, which I probably will include some information down below. We did do a test that was supposed to be a predictor. So it was going to tell you your percentage of passing the NCLEX. And April is a good time to do that. And I will tell you guys straight up, I did not study for that test. If your whole nursing career, I can't stress this enough, your whole nursing school career should prepare you for that test. And your studying for your final exam should prepare you for that. So if you're taking a predictor in April, do not waste any time studying for that because that's also a good indicator of how well your nursing school program has prepared you to take the NCLEX and to take that predictor. So I literally sat down that day, I took that test, and I think my predictor percentage was like 92 or 93%, which is pretty good for a test like that. But I cannot stress to you enough, if your nursing program is good and you've been doing the studying you need to be doing since you started nursing school, things like that, you don't waste extra time trying to prep for it. Now don't get me wrong, like I said, your final exam you need to prepare for, but predictor tests, the ATI tests we had, like I said, if you've been doing what you're supposed to be doing throughout nursing school, that is all preparation. And that's why it's important, like, I'm going to do a whole video on like certain classes and things you need to do while you're in those classes to kind of prepare you throughout school. But in nursing school is important because it's not where you can just study to pass the class and throw the information away. Every little point in nursing school is important because it's preparing you ultimately. Nursing school is just preparing you to take the NCLEX. I swear. I'm just going to put that out there. You really don't get prepared to work. I mean, your clinical will prepare you to work, and you will get training on the job when you get ready to be a nurse. But nursing school prepares you to take that test to say, yeah, I'm confident enough to take care of patients on paper. So that's just what it is. So if you can do like a couple NCLEX questions maybe each week, which preparing for your final exam should be doing that, go ahead and do it. But I can't stress this enough, do not start getting too crazy trying to study for the NCLEX because you will burn yourself out. If you're studying for NCLEX in April, you're going to get to your point in June where you're like, I don't want to study. So take your time. Like I said, the big thing for advice I can give is to follow a chronological timeline. As things come up, that's what you should be preparing for. So like I said, your final exam, which is probably going to be the second to last week or last week in April, study for that first. After that probably is like your graduation or like your pinning ceremony. So start getting stuff together for that after you take your final exam. Then next thing is graduation and your plans for that. Go ahead and get that situated. The only thing I can definitely tell you guys that I did the last week of April is I went ahead and I tried to plan out my schedule for studying for NCLEX. So I already knew that I wanted to take my NCLEX in July. Some people will totally ridicule that. People want to take it in June. Some people wanted to knock it out in May if they could, but I don't even think you can do that because once you get your authorization to test number, that's when you go on and pick your date. And when I went on and picked my date, I think the soonest date to take it was the beginning of July. So I think July was a great time. I'm going to do a whole video on how I prepped for the NCLEX, how I applied, and how I chose my dates and everything like that. But one thing I definitely did do is I went in, which I'm going to be doing in this series, a whole review of my planner from the last weeks of nursing school. But I went ahead and if you look, I started to kind of write down like my prep. So like you'll see I have all the sections here. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. And then each week that I was supposed to be studying for a certain section, I kind of wrote that down in my planner. So, alright guys, so I got a little hype in this video, but I just wanted to, you know, really stress to you guys that April is a time to just not even panic, but to just, you still want to set everything up for yourself, but you also want to just make sure you're going to make it out of nursing school, and everything else can follow up behind that. So, I know you guys are probably like, Shay was going crazy in this video. I just want to make sure, because I wish I kind of had a video like this when I was finishing up to kind of help me, because April is a crunch time period, but it's also a time, like I said before, to just follow your timeline. What is due next? Do that next. What is due after that? Follow up with that. So, like I said, I wish you guys all the best. If you have any questions, concerns, you guys know the comment box is down below. If you want to send me anything on social media, feel free. Just relax and go with the flow. If you guys, of course, are interested in more videos, please let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, all that fun jazz, and I will see you guys in my next video. Like I said, nursing gang, I did not forget about you guys. This is your season, this is your time, so I'm definitely going to be trying to throw up some videos to make sure you guys are ready for your special time, because from April to like August is your prime moments. There's a lot of big things that happen for you there, so I just want to make sure that you guys have enough support that you can come on my channel and watch, and just like I said, feel free to reach out to me if you need to. I will see you guys in my next video. Don't hesitate to subscribe and comment like I said before.